Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello fellas, my name is Fabrianda Novita Putri. In this occasion, I wanted to tell you about national language and language planning. So this video to fulfill my subject, sociolinguistic. I hope you enjoy this video. National language and language planning. National and official language. A national language is the language of a political, cultural, and social unit. It is generally developed and used as a symbol of national unity. For example, Swahili in Tanzania. An official language, by contrast, is simply a language which may be used for government business. Its function is primarily utilitarian rather than symbolic. For example, Malay in Malaysia. Official status and minority language. English is an official language in many countries throughout the world, such as Pakistan, Fiji, Vanuatu, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Often it shares this official status with indigenous language, such as Malaysia in Malay, Swahili in Tanzania, and Gilbertes in Kiribati. What prize a national language? One nation, one language has been a popular and effective slogan. The symbolic of a national language as a unifying, rallying point in the fight for independence was quickly appreciated in countries such as Tanzania. In other multilingual countries such as China, the Philippines, and Indonesia, where there are large populations speaking hundreds of different vernacular. Planning for a national official language. There are four. The first, selection, choosing the variety or code to be developed, and the second, codification, standardizing its structural or linguistic features, and the third, elaboration. This involves developing the necessary linguistic resources for heralding new concepts and contexts. And the last, securing its acceptance. The status of the new variety is important, and so people's attitudes to the variety being developed must be considered. The linguist's role in language planning. There are three. The first, developing vocabulary. More often, a language will need vocabulary for more specialist or formal domains, as was the case Swahili, Tok Pisin, and Malay, or for from another culture. And the second, acceptance. In Singapore, the government Speak Mandarin campaign has been similarly successful in persuading the dialect speaking. Nevertheless, it is generally true that government support plays an important part in gaining acceptance for a code. And the last, acquisition planning. Having considered the linguist's role at the micro level of codification, it is useful finally to return the macro level of language planning activities, especially for children are required to study throughout the school system. So the conclusion is language planning is defined most simply as deliberate language change. In this chapter, tell us that generally focus on specific language problem. This chapter also has focused in some detail on a few specific cases of language planning in order to exemplify some of the issues which have to be resolved by language planners, and some of the ways which have been used to resolve them. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.